Cody Jasper is back. We had him on the show back when he was in Moon Fever, and I really like some of their songs. But now he's left that band and he's focusing on his solo career. So we're going to find out why he left Moon Fever, exciting news about his solo stuff, and what the future holds. All this coming right up. What's going on? You're not in London now, but you're headed there. So what's happening in London? You're going to Abbey Road Studios?
Yes, I'm gonna be doing Abbey Road, live at Abbey Road, like video and a whole album pretty much. We're just gonna get in there and like go after, try to get as many songs as we can. We have all day. And then we'll be releasing a live at Abbey Road record as well as live Abbey Road on film. Like we're gonna have all the songs filmed and doing a couple shows before that, which is crazy. I'm like, I have two shows the right before Abbey Road. Like, I hope my voice is gonna. There's no way I can hold back at a concert, not seeing my like scream my bass off. So Abbey Road's gonna sound either really polished or really tired.
But you guys don't tinker in the studio after, do you, and change things or?
No, not for this. No, we're gonna just literally. We have 10 hours, so we're just gonna, taking time to set up to film and stuff like that takes a while and getting sounds right. And so then we're just gonna bang out the songs and we'll get it mixed so they can touch stuff up after, like, just EQ wise. But
okay.
It's gonna be live. I mean, and it's Abbey Road, so straight off the board, I think it sounds pretty good as long as we sound good.
So what is the set list then? Is it all originals, covers? Do you do any old Moon Fever songs or?
No, it's all originals, all new stuff. Because I have another record coming out then next year. That's like the good record I got, in my opinion. And so we're doing a lot of songs off that record because by the time that record comes out, that stuff will be done and ready to send off. I'm doing some stuff from this stuff I just released too. But yeah, that's about it.
Cool. So yeah, so tell me about, because you have a new record label, right? So what this is a famous record label, right?
Well, yeah, I guess this will be the first time I'll get to share it. But so I am signing with Evil Teen and Hardhead, which is Stephanie Scamardo and Warren Haynes. They're married together, and Stephanie has managed a lot of people. She's managed Allman Brothers, The Dead, the Revivalist, Marcus King, and I'm her new project. And so that's the record's going to come out on Evil Teen, and we're going to take it from there. We might be playing. I mean, I can't say yet; it's not confirmed, but we're going to be playing. Hopefully, Warren Haynes' Xmas Jam, which is at the end of the year. Yeah, it's a big deal. Pretty stoked. So, yeah, but
then she must have some pretty good connections if she managed those bands.
Yeah, I was a little terrified meeting her. I literally went to their house in New York, and I'm just like, I'm a huge Warren Haynes fan. I mean, I started playing guitar because I got my first real guitar because my dad heard me play One Way Out by the Allman Brothers. He literally the night before was like, "You're not a good guitar." I was like, "Dad, I'm getting really good. I need a real instrument, real guitar, a Fender." And he's like, "I'm not going to buy you one of those until you can play One Way Out by the Allman Brothers." So that night I learned One Way Out, note for note almost. I think it was like 14. And the next day before school, I was like, "Dad, check this out." Played him One Way Out on a medicine bottle slide. And he was like, "You're not going to school today." Bought me a Fender Highway 1 Strat and a Fender Blues DeVille that day.
Nice.
And it's forever changed. It's all downhill from there.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So last you were on, we talked about, I mean, you were in Moon Fever. So what happened with that? Cause I think you like messaged me one day. You're like, yeah, I'm out of that band. I was like, oh, I don't know the whole story other than, you got in a fight with the bass player or something. He broke your jaw. That sounds kind of crazy. Tell me this.
No, that was in the beginning of the band. And that bass player was like my friend from childhood. So it wasn't the first time we, brawled out in the front yard after a couple of beers, if you know what I mean. That was nothing. That actually helped. I got sober after that, so it was actually a beneficial thing. But I signed an NDA So I can't really say why I left. I just wasn't happy with the way thing. I had to share my songs with someone who didn't write
Mm.
them. So that was another thing. Plus I played guitar on the records and I wasn't allowed to play guitar live. And
Mm.
so yeah. So that was one thing that just pushed my buttons. And then I was writing all this material, and then I was told that, I mean, in the best songs we had recorded songs that, you know, I wrote predominantly just me and somebody else, but somebody who wasn't in the band. But uh, everybody was gearing up to put these songs out. And then the family that financed the band was like, these sound too much like a Cody Jasper song. So they weren't going to put out all these songs that were like, we were pretty sure going to do the trick for us. They wanted
Mm.
me to write songs with their son, who was in the band, who I tried and tried and tried to write with the guy, but it just didn't work. And so I just said, hey, I'm doing my own thing now, you know, whatever. So
Yeah.
I can't say any really thing anymore without them suing me for lots of money, which is weird because they still collect royalties from my songs. So, but yeah,
Well, wasn't part of
that,
it too? What's that?
yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, wasn't part of it too, like you got completely sober. Like I know you had, I think last we talked, you were like, I'm sober for like a few months. I'm trying it out. But now you're like, no, I'm done with everything. And then you're singing the song Cocaine. And that's kind of weird because you're looking out and there's people that are like, yeah, cocaine. You're like, ooh, I'm not really wanting to like promote cocaine anymore. Like, not that you're really promoting
Yeah,
it to begin with, but it was a little weird, right?
that was the thing. The whole thing was just a gimmick.
Yeah. Because I
It
think you
was
told me
like,
that last time when we talked about that song. You're like, I'm not. It's just like it's just funny. Like it was just more. Yeah.
yeah, there was a couple times where I'd be playing and just like see kids out there or something, and I'm like, you know, I didn't say it on the microphone, but I felt like inclined to be like, you guys know that like we're not like promoting this. It was just
Right.
these guys, like, this is literally how the band worked. It was like, we need the manager who was getting, you know, paid handsomely to be our manager would be like, you need to this type of stuff. It needs to be this. And I'm like, how does this guy know anything about rock and roll? First and
Hmm.
foremost. But I mean, of course, it was one of the first songs we recorded. And for me, being a writer behind it, it was like, what's an easy, oh, drugs. Yeah, there you go. Perfect. Rock song, 2.5 minute rock song, was singing about drugs.
Yeah. So you won't
And
play
then,
any Moon Fever songs? Like you won't do like Cheap Thrills or Payphone Blues or
well,
anything?
no, Cheap Thrills that was one Mitch had came up. Well, he came up with the guitar part, and then I would have to
Yeah.
go right. But Shaking Off the Evil and stuff like that. Undertaker, which is crazy. That's one really that pushed my buttons because if you go on Spotify, it has his name under it, and I'm like, I've been playing that song for like 10 years. People seeing me play that song like back in Austin when I was a teenager and stuff. So stuff like that just really ticked me off because I'd find out about it later. You know, I'm like, why is this? Oh, well, we paid for everything. So, you know, so it's like, okay, but that doesn't, you're already taking royalties. Now you're going to take 50% of my writer share. Like,
Hmm.
what?
Huh.
So, yeah, you might
Yeah.
get me in trouble with this, Chuck.
No, 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 no. No, it's fine. I mean, look, it's all business stuff. Let's move on then. Let's talk about the news. I like the new stuff. Like it took me I think did you put out two EPs? Is that what it is?
Well, here's the thing with the stuff I've been putting out. So I've been writing a ton of stuff. Like I
Mhm.
recorded tons of stuff, and I a lot of it I was just putting out like Disco Lemonade and all that stuff. It was kind of
Yeah.
just like B-side stuff that I was
Mm.
that I was recording, and then I was still going to focus on Moon Fever. So I had like this batch of songs that I was like, yeah, I just want to
Oh,
put these out for the heck of it
okay.
because I had all my eggs in this one basket. And then when that basket was not a basket I want to put my eggs in anymore, I started recording those other songs. So I have like three, probably by the end of the year, I'll have four full albums. So I was like, all right, let me drop this B-side stuff just in case one of them maybe takes off. You never know. And then also because I do this a lot where I record, I'll go make a record and then I'll never put it out. I got stuff on my Dropbox that I need to just like, you know, but then because it gets old to me and then I become a better songwriter. So I'm like, I don't want to even hear that crap that
Hmm.
I put out, you know? So I'm just I put out this stuff to kind of like have something at the end of the year, because with the new label and the new stuff that's going to happen, that I just wanted something to come out for the end of the year. So I don't,
That's
not going to be
smart
mad if you're
because
not a fan of the most. Go ahead.
yeah, no, I was just gonna say that's smart because I feel like you gotta in this business, you gotta stay relevant. Like there's so many artists that I follow that I like, and I'm like, where you been? Like, what's going on? I haven't heard anything from you. You're not doing any shows. So it seems like you're doing shows and you're putting out new music and staying fresh. But I love the song. I love some of these new songs like Dancing with Depression. I think, is that your most popular song right now? It's really good.
Yeah, a lot of people have been, got it on the playlist and it's been shared a lot, which I was nervous about that song. I liked the chorus, but it was just so weird. There's so many, like, I just, it's like a rock ballad, I guess, but there's so much stuff in it. And I actually was sick when I sang that record. I didn't have the time to come back or the money to book more days to do vocals. So I literally just like powered through it. My nose was stopped up.
That's funny because it sounds great to me. You know what's interesting about that? I was like, there was a part in there where the chord progression, I was like, wow, this sounds kind of familiar. And then I put it together. It kind of sounds like a little bit like Weezer's "Say It Ain't So." Have you noticed that? Like that would be a good if you mashed up those two songs.
I had like we were always saying like "This Is the Vibe" was a Weezer vibe, but
oh, okay.
I don't know. I mean, there's only 12 chords in the whole chart, so you're gonna run into a few somebody you've used before. I'm sure that "Say It Ain't So" is probably taken from Tom Petty, and then it just goes down the line. But
yeah, no, I love.
Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, damn, it's a little different.
It is a little, but it just reminded me of that, and I was like, it's reminding me of something. And then I listened, I was like, no, it's not exact, but there's that little part. And but no, I love this song, and it's funny because the song's called "Dancing with Depression," so it almost sounds like a sad song, but it's actually the lyric is like, I'm not dancing with depression anymore. So it's because it's to me, it feels like a happy song.
Yeah, it was kind of like I was going through a lot after getting sober, and like if you want to hear the definition, where the story came from, I guess I was going through all that stuff from getting sober, and then I quit Moon Fever, and that was like my bread and butter gig. I was getting paid to do it, and like, but my heart was like, you got to do something better. Like I just had to have like take a leap of faith and be like, I can do this and succeed. And then reality sets in of how hard it is to do this on your own in a business, when you're not from a family that's very, very wealthy. And then so I was bouncing with these depressional thoughts, and I'm sober and I have to deal with them. And then the song was just basically like, yes, it's like being okay with like having problems. It's like, I don't really, it's one of the lyrics says, sometimes I wish I'm dead, but it's not true. But it's just like, sometimes I may get depressed. Sometimes I have like some issues or some things I haven't healed in my life, but it's okay. Like, screw this. I'm going to keep on going, like whatever.
That's life. So, yeah.
I
mean, that's when you get anxious, is when you expect everything to be perfect. Like the more you fight reality, the more anxious you get. Like, so when you just go, all right, well, things are a shit show right now or whatever, that there's going to be a light at the end of the tunnel, though. I think that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it's just like, I was like hard on myself, and I'm like, everybody gets depressed. Everybody thinks, oh man, maybe, this, that. It's like, whatever. I'm just going to bask in it.
Yeah, well, you came out with a beautiful song because of it. That's what's amazing, that you can do that. You can channel that into something positive. I love it. So I'm playing that song on repeat. It's great. And then I love also the Swim. That's a cool song. That's a cool riff. That's, you scream a little more. It's a harder rock song. That's kind of more of a easier transition from the Moon Fever stuff. Like that's kind of that vein of like hard rock. I really like that one.
Yeah, thanks, man. Thank you. I got some more hard rock coming. I can't wait for some of this stuff.
Oh, really? Yeah, because this is like, and then like you have the Disco Lemonade that's like soul funk. You're kind of all over the place, which I kind of like. It kind of reminds me, not that you sound like this at all, but just how the Guns N' Roses did like the Use Your Illusion, and they had just so many different styles in there and they mixed it up. I love that because I love so many different styles of music. Is that kind of how you're going to go forward? Or is it like you said, some of this was like leftover B-sides and...
That's cool that you reference Use Your Illusion, because I love that. I mean, I didn't put that
Me
tune
too.
together, but I've been saying that I'm trans genre. So it's like, like I love
Uh,
all music. Like, it's so hard for me to just be like, you can only do this. It's like,
right.
what? I love playing. Oh, I write all kinds of stuff. Like, I don't just listen to hard rock. I don't just listen to soul. And so that was the thing. I was just recording stuff, and I was like, you know what? I like this. I'm going to put it out. But and I want to stick with that, even though everyone's like, no, you can't do that. You got to be you have to be this. Like, that's how the world works. The music world works. Like, you have to have your fan base. And I'm like, I don't know if I want to do that. I think I want to try doing it my own way. But they all eventually, I think it was just my writing. I was just trying to find out what I wanted, because I've been writing so long towards this style, and I had all these people dictating what I was doing. Like, oh, you got to take that awesome guitar solo out of there. Like, what? We had to do that all the time. I'd have to take
Really?
we would yeah, we would make the songs in the studio. It would be epic. And then, like, because I don't play them live, so the person who has to play them would get like really mad and be like, because he couldn't do it, but it was really what it was. But yeah, we had to. So I just had to do all this like stupid stuff. It was just not what music was to me. Not rock and roll at all. Like, it was like, programmed drums, programmed everything. Everything was programmed. It was
Hmm.
just like not how I envisioned making rock and roll records. And so once I had got away from that, I went like this whole record that I did, Ministry of Madness. There isn't one plugin or one electronic device on the record. Everything is mic'd. Everything is made by a human being. Which, I mean, it sounds like that. It sounds old, you know. So it's like, now that I did that, I'm like, all right, I want to go back to technology, because I'm not gonna lie, I just like records that are, there's so much stuff out there that the old analog way is cool, but I like the new stuff. I like the mix of both. But so a lot of that stuff,
Exactly.
to get back to what you're saying, a lot of that stuff was just me being like, I have the freedom to make music with like a real drummer again. I can like play a song with somebody. It's not like, put these headphones on and play to this drum track, and then we're gonna edit it, move it in here, and blah blah blah, and then we're gonna auto tune your voice. Like, oh my god, cheap thrills, dude. I never would have gone. Long night last day, but it's Friday.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So that's auto
But
tune.
they did that. Like, I mean, I sang it
Ah.
kind of like that, but these mixes would come back, and I'd be like, "What is that? What is that? Sounds like a computer," and I couldn't do anything about it.
Was that hard to
But
sing
so since
live
now
then?
that I could,
Could you
no,
sing
not
Cheap Thrills?
really.
Okay. No.
Yeah, I would sing them live, and I was practicing a lot, but it made me a way better singer. But
Hmm.
it was just the facade of it. It was just like, if I just miss doing real stuff. I came from old rock and roll habits, and
Yeah.
so it was like, when I was a kid dreaming about doing this, that was not the way that I thought about doing it.
Right. So but
And
now
so
you're saying,
now,
but you're gonna mix it. Maybe there'll be some of the modern mix with the old school stuff.
yeah, there's
Yeah.
going to be this new record is pretty much the newer record coming out is pretty much modern. It's got huge drums, reverb, but they're real drums. They were made by a drummer, not by an engineer.
Okay.
So that was a big thing for me. But so that's there. There's drums like that. There's one song that I think is going to be a single called "Dirty." It's got a big 808 bass in it. So I'm utilizing, because now that, from when I quit that band to moving on, I've done a lot of stuff on my own producing wise. And so I'm learning about all these crazy gadgets and like
Hmm.
how to make that sound that you pay somebody $4,000 to do. And you're like, wow, it's literally just a program you buy on your computer.
Oh, really? Wow. So
Yeah.
did you produce this new one yourself, or did you have help?
No, Ministry of Madness. Had Frenchie produce that one, but the one coming out, yeah, I produced it by myself. I was just like, I love Frenchie. Frenchie is a great producer, but from my previous people I've worked for, I was just like, why are these people here? I mean, if I was working with Rick Rubin or somebody like
Hmm.
that,
That'd be cool.
then you're like, yeah, I'll sit down up. Yeah, but those guys. But a lot of times I've noticed that I get in a room with these producers, and you have this thing, and you want to do, you by the time that they get done with it, it doesn't even sound like you anymore, and you're kind of like,
Hmm.
it's kind of is a bummer. And a lot of my friends, they feel the same way. Sometimes they get into it. So I was just kind of, and with TikTok and stuff these days, dude, you got 14-year-old kids out there producing, mixing, and mastering their own stuff. So it's not that hard to find out how to do it. So,
Right.
and then when you're writing the song, like I usually, when I make a song, I can hear the entire thing in my head. Like I'm at home now, and like, here, I'll show you, like this keyboard, like I can do background vocals, horn sections, organs, bass, drums. You can do it all right there. So it's like, what do I need a producer for now? I just need a really good engineer to tell me how to get these sounds and to mix it properly. All the producer's going to come in and do is share his ideas and then try to put his stamp on it.
Right.
And that usually takes the artistry away from the whole thing. It's like being a painter and having a person behind you over your shoulder the entire time telling you what to paint. It would
Yeah.
just completely take away from the artist.
Well, I guess you'd have to really trust that producer. But I think like you said, like Rick Rubin,
Yeah.
that might be a good fit for you, or somebody like that, because he's very hands off.
Yeah,
And
Rick Rubin
right.
would be a great fit.
Yeah, I mean, because
Let me know if you can
seriously,
make
because
that
he's
happen.
more hands on. He's not going to be twisting a bunch of the. He doesn't even do a lot of the, the technical stuff. He's more about like, inspiring you with the environment and things. I don't know if you've seen that documentary on him, but it's really interesting. He takes these artists into this like house, and he puts all these things in there that inspire him, but he doesn't really like twist the knobs and dials. Like, no sound, turn this one up and turn that. That's like, the engineer does some of that, but I don't think he does a lot. He's more of like a hands-off producer.
Yeah, I haven't seen the documentary, but I listened to his Joe Rogan podcast, and it
Oh,
was
that was
like
good.
he gets it. He's about
Yeah.
the vibe. He lets
Yes.
the artist like he gives them like a place to like feel comfortable and
Exactly.
trust, and yeah, that's a producer I would like to work with. Somebody like that. But for now, I just listen to stuff like that and take their advice from things.
No, that's really smart. So I mean, you're doing the producing yourself now. You have a manager or something? Because your new single, one of the, I think it was Disco Lemonade, or one of them was getting a lot of press on a lot of those sites. How do you have to send that in to them, or how do you get that press? Because it was doing really well with that.
You hire a PR agent is really how you get that stuff done, and then they have connections, so the people most likely will read their email, and then maybe they'll do a write up about it, versus me cold emailing these people. Like, yeah, like
Right.
American Songwriter on Who You Are, which was like a bucket list for me, and that was Ed Bunker. He's a great PR agent, killer guy. I just don't have the budget for him on these last ones that I've released. And plus, the next stuff is coming on a label, so they kind of handle that stuff. So they use their
Oh.
people, but I
Oh,
would
so you will
suggest
have PR
anybody.
people for the next one then,
Yeah, yeah.
because of the
But
label.
that's it.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's really what it is. Like, people ask me that all the time. How are you getting all this stuff? And I'm like, it's PR agent.
Yeah. Well,
Just
that's
like
good.
radio.
Yeah.
You got
No,
to
because I
pay
get
for a
those things all
radio.
the time with the PR. I get all these, like, I get like 20, 30 emails a day from different PR people. Hey, check out this band released. And there's so many artists out. I can't believe how many bands there are that have enough to hire a PR agent that I've never heard of. It's crazy to me.
Yeah, it's a crazy business, dude. But see, that's the thing. Like, yeah, you get lots of emails. So like, if you hire somebody that you've worked with before, you're more likely to listen to them and check out their artists. And I think Ed is the same guy that got us connected when I was in Moon Fever.
I don't know. I
Ed
remember I
Bunker.
reached out to you. I was like, I want this guy on my show. Because I love those songs. Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, I love the new stuff too, though. It's great. I'm excited for the next album that'll be a full album. That's going to be cool. Like, yeah, it seems like everything's going in the right direction. How did you get the blue tick? Was that another thing through the PR agent?
No, I've been trying to get one of those just as long as anybody has. Like, I would go to you can apply for one on Instagram, and it always would just be like nothing, and I looked into like paying for one, and those all seem to be scams. And
Yeah.
just I think but what I looked into like the logistics of it is once you get a certain amount of like press, like once so many, and then I had a couple fake accounts. I had a couple like uh accounts that would like message people and be like, hey,
Oh,
and so one day, I don't know, man, one day it just like popped up. I just got a text from my drummer Greg, and he's like, dude, how did you get a blue check mark? And I'm like, what? And then when you open it, it doesn't even, your Instagram's not different. I had to literally go to my page, and it was cool. It was kind of like nothing's changed though.
hmm.
It doesn't, it's
It just
still
makes it
really
more,
hard to
it
get
makes you
people.
more official though. I think it makes you more, legit. I think, I mean, I've been trying to get one too, cause I feel like it makes you, stand out a little bit more, like rather than just being a sea of musicians or podcasters, like, okay, this guy's like official. He's verified.
Yeah.
It's something.
It's helped me get some pretty cool follower backs. Like I'll follow people, that are like Rob from Stone Temple Pilots, the bass player from Stone Temple Pilots. Like grew up on Stone Temple Pilots, and I came across his Instagram shortly after I got my blue check mark and followed him, and I'm like, and he followed me back. So I'm like, there's no way that would have happened if I didn't have that
Wow.
blue check mark, So I'm very thankful for it.
That's true. Yeah. Cause they would actually see those or message too. I feel like it stands out, from all the other ones. That's really cool, man. Stone Temple Pilots. That'd be a fun show to like open for them, maybe a tour or something.
Wow. Yeah, that would be crazy. That would be nuts.
Yeah. Cause you've done some good ones. Did you open up for Eric Gales?
Yeah, open up for Eric Gales. That's pretty much a solo lately. I haven't been doing very many shows this year at all. I've just been kind of working on the trenches, getting content and stuff, and practicing. I've been really just like, I play guitar like 3 or 4 hours a day. Some days I don't play at all, but for the most part, like I'm just in here. Like I'm like, all right, if I'm not going to be playing any shows, I'm going to be stuck, you know, not doing anything. I'm going to at least like get to be as good as I possibly can be, because if all else fails, at least if I'm really, really good, something,
No,
something's going to work out.
that's super smart. Yeah. Because when, all the PR stuff is great and everything, but like ultimately it comes down to the music. Like I feel like the same way with my podcast. I'm like, ultimately, like I can play the social media game and all that, but if I don't have good interviews, like people don't care. So that's a huge,
Exactly. Yeah.
that's really smart. Now you're in Austin, right? Or is that
No,
where
actually, I'm in Amarillo, my hometown, like
okay.
the middle of nowhere, Panhandle. It's the plains. Yeah, I moved here right during the pandemic from LA, and just haven't left. It's just been nice. I don't do much but work on music, and I know that I've been honing in, but soon, and probably by next year, I'm going to be moving back to a regular metropolitan city. I don't know which one yet, but
Hmm.
it's
And
been good for me.
would it
Go
be in
ahead.
Texas? Would it be Austin or Houston or Dallas, or it could be anywhere?
I really miss the ocean. I really like California, even though it's going through a lot of stuff. Like I just feel great in California. I love Austin too. And then I've never lived in Nashville, so I'm like, maybe I should give Nashville a shot. That's where the scene is.
Yeah, because Austin is cool, but Nashville is like Austin on steroids. Like it's insane. There's so much live music, but then again, it's like
Yeah.
you got to stand out because there's so much of it.
And Austin is like just not the same. Austin was like my second home. It's where I first lived when I, first moved and started cutting my teeth. And like, it's funny because I sound like one of those people when I moved there that were like, Austin ain't the same. And now it's me. I'm like, but it's true because like the reason I would move back there isn't for the music scene. It's for like the way of life. I used to run around Town Lake and swim in the river, and it's like every time I go back, and I'm like running on Town Lake, like bumping elbows with people, and then like every little spot that I used to like go with my dog and jump in the water, and there'd be like 5 people there, maybe. You gotta like wait in line now. It's just like crazy the amount of people. So that's the thing where I'm like, maybe I don't want to move back there, but I don't know yet. I fly by the seat of my pants. So
Well, very cool. Would you have any upcoming shows? I know I mean, we talked about all the new music you have. Do you have any shows lined up though?
I have some in London, and then I am waiting on the confirmation to do Xmas Jam in Asheville, North Carolina, where Warren Haynes' festival that he does. And that's it until next year. And don't have anything on the books right now for next year, but that's all getting worked on. I have to finish this Abbey Road video stuff.
Sure.
Like we were saying, it's really, it's got to be about having good music. So I'm like, I don't want to make all these funny, corny music videos. Like, I'd rather just get into an epic studio and play my ass off, and then have that to advertise to people, because that's what it's about. It's not about like, oh, sure, I can wear funny stuff and grow a mustache and, you know, make a cool video. I'm like, I want people to see us, because music is like a spiritual thing to me. So when I play it live, especially when I'm allowed to play guitar, especially when I'm allowed to like perform the music live, I go to a special place, and like people see that. I think people start, now that I'm especially clear-headed and sober, it's like you're actually watching something, you know? And so I really want to convey that more than I want to convey anything else right now. And we got so lucky that we get to do that in studio 2 at Abbey Road.
Yeah, that's super cool. So it's you singing and guitar, and then did you just have a bassist and a drummer, or is there another guitar player as well?
I'm having there's another guitar player, and there's also a keyboard player live. But yeah, there's 2 guitar. I got to have another guitar player, because like in Dancing with Depression, there's like 3-part guitar harmonies all over that song. So I want to do it all live. So
okay, cool. Well, I look forward. Hopefully I can catch a show at some point, either if you come to Phoenix, or I'll have to do a road trip or something. But it'd be cool to see you. Like I said, get on that Stone Temple Pilots tour or something. That'd be fun.
Yeah, totally.
We'll put that out into the universe. Yeah, something big, something cool. You've opened for big bands before. It shouldn't be a problem. So awesome. Well, I always end each episode promoting a charity. And I think last time we talked about the Freedom Music Project. Is that still something that's near and dear to your heart?
Yes, definitely. We just did a fundraiser for them in Albuquerque like 3 weeks ago, and they raised money, and I think they gave away like 50 guitars to younger kids that are in like detention centers or on probation or something.
Yeah.
It's pretty great project.
Cool. So people can donate to that. I'll put that link in the show notes, and then they can follow you on social media. You're blue tick now. So very cool. Easy to find you. Awesome, man. All right. Anything else?
That's it, man.
Okay. All right.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Thanks for coming back. We'll talk again. What's that?
All right. I said, I appreciate what you do, man. I love watching all your interviews. You got some crazy people lately, which is, I feel like imposter syndrome. You've had some legends on here.
Yeah, no, you're getting there. You're getting there yourself, like I said. So it's cool to see you like on the rise. Like I just had that guy, the singer from Great White, like he was in a band in Alabama. I don't even think they had any like real recorded music when I had him on the show. And now he's like singing with Great White. It's pretty cool. So.
Wow.
Yeah. Awesome.
Awesome, man.
Take it easy, Cody.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Cody Jasper. Remember the name? It's like I was telling him, I had Brett Carlisle on the show. He's the singer of All or Nothing. And then he got the call to sing for Great White. And it's fun to follow these young stars and see their careers. So make sure to follow Cody and also follow the show as well. Your likes, shares, and comments will help us both out. And we appreciate that. And again, make sure you're subscribed to the show so you can catch all the exciting guests that we have. Even Cody said we have some great guests. So thank you so much for your support. Have a great day and shoot for the moon.